Go get me a can of ether off of that backhoe over there so we can get this Ferrari started. I want to take a baseball bat and put it through the windshield of this car if I come out here again and that fucking stripes on it. I don't give a shit if it's got clear, rip it off. You fabricators, y'all are a talented crew, but y'all are a junky bunch of bastards too. I want to introduce everyone to the new shop manager for GMTV Garage, Ken Vargas. Some of y'all might know him from his TikTok thing. What's it called?
Backyard Builder Guy.
And I wanted to talk to you about backyard builders. Every fabricator I know has got like a hoarder station around his home with cars that like pulled from this and pick a pull, and you have all these great intentions. And I'm a real clean and narrow and straight guy, like everything rode up. And I just wanted you to know, we will never put up with that here. We're into high and tight and clean and tidy, and I don't want a bunch of junk cars. I hate junk cars. I hate people that have junk cars. If there's people with junk cars laying around me, I want to get away from them. If my wife was into junk cars, I'd leave her.
I understand.
That will never work here.
Ken,
What's up, cuz?
what the hell is that?
It's our first GMTV Garage project. What do you think? 4-wheel drive, 4L60E, 5.3. How do you think John's gonna feel about me bringing scrap metal to the W6 Ranch?
This is a disease, and now I've caught it. I see people dragging shit into their home, and I never understood it, and now I've brought this piece of shit back to my home. Somebody call me a doctor.
See, I think I might have gotten it to.
Oh, you think you got it open?
I think so. It clicked a second ago.
Okay. Chevrolet K5 Blazer. It's got 5-6 inches on it, 35s. This is my pride and joy. Out of all the cars, this is the one I don't want anybody to screw up. And it got screwed up. So I guess my car's all dirty from the toe in, but Nolan has his pretty little girlfriend at the end of our birthday party down at the Rattlesnake. He drove this back. It did not have a light in the selector window.
Oh, okay.
And he put it in first, and he drove it all the way back in first, and he burnt the motor and the transmission up. So we need a new motor and transmission. And it would be a good opportunity for Junior to learn how to turn a wrench. So he's like, what do you want me to do? I said, we got to put a new motor in it, but I want you to help so that you at least learn something from being a dumbass. I mean, at what point when he was revved out at like 4,000 RPM did he not think, I wonder why it didn't shift yet?
You know, I think he had something else on his mind, John.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he was, I got to get home right now.
I think he was just green and didn't know what the heck he was doing.
It could be.
Since there's a negative, let's make a positive out of it and put an LS in it.
I'm on board. I'm right on board.
Where do we get an LS?
Well, John, honestly, right now, a lot of people think the LS is made out of gold, so it'd be kind of expensive if we kind of piece it together. Mm-hmm. But see, the way that fabricators, or what John likes to call hoarders, like to do, is the easiest thing to do is just go buy a wrecked truck, maybe something that's got an issue. Because 9 times out of 10, if somebody can't fix it and they're selling it for cheap, it's because they don't know what they're doing.
Sounds like dating a stripper.
Exactly. The easiest thing to do is, like I said, just find a wrecked truck, pay $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 for it, bring it in. That way you have everything you need. Depending on how the setup you want, if you want like a drive-by-wire, drive-by-cable, you'll have everything that you need, from the gas pedal, the throttle body, computer, body control module, everything you need will be on that truck.
How long will it take 2 guys to do a swap on this?
I mean, if all goes well, we get parts on time, I would say about a week and a half at most, depending on, again.
So getting a core donor truck comes with more parts. So you're better off, you don't have to make as many runs to the store?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, there are gonna be some things that you'll have to buy, like engine mount brackets, AC mount brackets, but that's obviously, it comes with the build, so.
Gotcha. We've been talking LS swaps for a while, so let's do the first one on this one.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
I'm on board.
While we're talking about projects that were so good and gonna finish in a week and a half, I wanna get an update on the fire chicken.
Okay. Me and Greg did work on it a little bit the week before last.
Well, that's good news. So guys, it's November 4th, 2024. I think it was about August 2023 when this little Pearl came in on a wrecker, and we were going to have her done by Christmas. Let me remind you with some footage right here. 1979, Firebird, Trans Am, 10th anniversary.
How long is this going to be to get ready?
Sure.
2 months. The biggest lie told today by a human being was you telling me it's going to take us 2 months to restore this car.
Right.
I bet next summer is when it's ready.
There it goes.
It's Christmas. You primered it. When will this motherfucker be done? What the hell is this, man? This isn't done. This isn't even close to done. And if it's taken us this long to get it to this point, September, October, November, December, January, February, 6 months, we'll be hanging Christmas lights before this baby's done. As you see, things got a little squirrely, and here we are over a year later, and la-da, she's not ready. She's getting ready, but this thing's been through Squirrel, it's been through Mike, it's been touched by a few other people, but what's the reality of the finish? When will my fire chicken be ready?
Well, John, I will tell you the number one thing any mechanic does not want to do is start where somebody did not finish.
Okay.
So that is definitely going to be the harder part, but if you have a couple guys on this and they're consistent with what they do, and it looks like, just what I can see visually, it looks like it just needs reassembly. I don't think we need to do anything major as far as any kind of fabrication or rebuilding anything. Engine looks brand new.
It is.
Like I said, if we got a couple guys on it consistently, maybe August of 2025, that's pushing it. Now, I would say maybe 2.5 months at most, just to make sure that everything.
The biggest lie told today by a human being was you telling me it's going to take us 2 months to restore this car.
I think you just bought yourself so much time in that comment.
Yeah, I did.
That's
I
just
totally
BS.
did. I totally
I mean,
did.
like, if you're really on this car,
it won't take long.
this car is 3 weeks away if you're really on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if we have a
I'm
couple
not as
guys
dumb
on
as
it.
they think I am. But like this bolt here that was used on before, I got to pull that off and paint it black. I want this car a little nicer than y'all are thinking. Like this radiator support here, it's got to be fresh.
Right.
The stickers are supposed to be here, got to be on there. I want this thing. We've spent so much money and so much time in this thing. It's got to be right. Like that gap where the dash in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That can't be like that.
Right.
So 3.5 weeks would get it up to ready. It's still a month and a half away from all these little intricacies things I'm talking about. But every sticker, here's what we could have done. We could have gone Resto mod. We could have put an LT4 in it. We could have made it badass. But instead, since it's numbers matching, one owner, the guy's daughter had it. This is a 79 commemorative edition. I decided to keep it all stock, except for the vintage air. Nobody dislikes vintage air. Vintage air is wonderful.
Especially in Texas, John.
So,
yeah.
if we're going to do anything else outside of that, then we rip the motor out and put a supercharged GM block in it.
That sounds good.
And if you do that, then you've got to change the suspension to handle it. And if you could do that, then you got to change the transmission to handle it. And then you got to change the computers. And then you got to. So no, we're not doing that.
Right.
We're going to put her back to all original. One of the better examples of a WS6 commemorative Trans Am, disc brakes, all the gear. When I bought this car from the farmer in Mississippi, I paid him $500.
Yeah.
$500. Cost $1,500 to get it here on the wrecker. And I gave the wrecker driver like $300 to run the $500 cash out to him. Just because I was so excited. I thought I was ripping it.
Yeah.
Because it's all original, everything's original. What do you think I have in it now a year later? Parts and labor and everything.
Between parts, labor, I would say close to 40,000.
I think you're pretty close, but I think you're light. I don't think the labor is being added up right. I think by the time we're all said, done, and finished, I think we'll be in it for $75,000. Yeah, I mean, when we're all done, and I kick it on them 3 times because they're not being picky enough. Do you know how to be picky as I'm talking?
Yes.
You should.
Yeah. Coming from, I mean, dude, I worked for a big time company, Service King Caliber, and that's all 110%. It had to be quality because at the end of the repair, you know, customers would get surveys, so it had to be perfect.
Gotcha. It's just the little stuff. It's little emblem. It's little color on like this. If it's faded out, this looks pretty good. But it's the little things that make people start picking a car apart.
Yeah, the smallest things I've noticed. So yeah, of course, this one would have to be top tier 100%. So we'll make sure. Just
to try to minimize the loss. We're in defense mode now. But I can tell you, I want to take a baseball bat and put it through the windshield of this car if I come out here again and that f***ing stripes on it.
Yeah, these stripes.
I don't give a shit if it's got clear, rip it off.
Yeah.
Are they really cleared?
Yeah, no, seriously. Kevin tried to take a razor blade to
Yep.
it, and you can see, like, even on some of these, if you run your fingernail over them, there's no catch.
I got you.
Yeah, so they're clear.
So what's the fix? Sand it off?
Sand it off.
Okay, sand it off.
Yeah.
Sand it off. You got a sander? You got a belt sander? We'll do it right now on video.
Shit, I'll scrape it off with a wire wheel and a grinding.
Whatever.
We can at least take this fender piece off so we can see what it's looking like. That way, if you don't like the way it looks, we can always just put it back on, which I know you're not gonna.
We'll never put the stripe back on.
Yeah, so we'll just.
There's zero chance.
Yeah, yeah. We. Can,
When I bought the car, I bought it because it looks stupid because of the stripe in the wheels. It's a great car, it's a great build, but the stripe in the wheels ruin it, and we've got to fix it.
Yeah.
Now the Resto, so the Resto's good. The Tweed's a little weird, but I think this was done by an older guy with older taste. I do not believe that the Resto is that old. Ken, you may disagree with me. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think it's an early thousands build because it does have that old school TPI 350 in it. So I think it was right around the era before LS was getting popular.
Will you start it? Is the battery working?
Yeah.
Toot, 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 toot.
Fuel, starter.
I think the guy that built this is white, but I think he's married to a Mexican. Got enough Mexican quietness in it that you can tell if he's not married to a Mexican, he's got a Mexican girlfriend.
I can't say I disagree. Get that camera off me, Brian.
But like the gold and the chrome, and then the motor's all chromed up, and then you got the chrome plates, and then you chrome the brake booster, you know? When you go to chrome the brake booster, you're really trying to say something. And I think it says, I like Latinas, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, this car screams Ramon from the movie Cars. It really does.
Just got a little bit. So here's the real dead giveaway. You got the gold and the stainless chrome mix, but then you got the terrible wheel selection, and there is no Mexican that would have put that stripe on this car. If a Mexican put that stripe on this car, they got sent back over the border. So we can keep them here. So this came from Mississippi. This is one of the cleaner cars of that bunch. I think it's an 80.
73, I believe.
No, they didn't make a 308 in 73, I believe. So one of the first exotic cars I ever bought was an 85 328 GTS. Bought it from Pruitt Ford in Wichita Falls, Texas. It made $5,000, and I thought I just hung the moon. But this is a pretty good example. It's, as you see, it's got a Mississippi inspection. Last time it was inspected was 2012. Dennis Collins and I bought it out of that group of cars. It's got 26,000 kilometers on it, so it's a low mileage example. And it's a GTS. I think it's a 1980. We need to get this thing started and figure out what she needs. Ken, what's wrong with this one?
Well, John,
It's Pininfarina.
I'm not 100% yet.
Okay.
We tried to fire it up, and the battery had a dead cell, so we replaced the battery, and we haven't really gotten any farther than that. We kind of put our focus on the Jag because we were 100%.
Knew you needed parts?
On this one, we might need some. It was actually, somebody has already been into it, starting to, I guess, either diagnose it or maybe it was
How do you
ready
know?
to run. The main reason we know is, first off, there was a jumper cable on the starter injector here.
Well, it might have been us.
No, it was prior to, because you could, yeah, it's in here somewhere. And then the intake is loose and, yeah, separated like this.
Ferrari of Atlanta, $1,000 bill for a fuel cap and a fuel cap. That's what I'm talking about. What's the date on this? August 2014?
That one, that's an O'Reilly's invoice.
O'Reilly's.
But the cool part about
Wiring
this car
harnesses.
is we have,
Keep that.
yeah, this is how we found, well, actually, this is how we found where the battery was. And this is the schematic of all of the wiring for this vehicle. which it is huge, but it was super dope because once you follow everything, it literally, there's the battery right there underneath what you would call, I guess, the bonnet, because it's under the front. But yeah, this right here.
Will this be ready for Friday when I come back? I want to drive her into town to the Rattlesnake. I think Walnut needs a Ferrari moment.
Well, John, I've never been able to diagnose a Ferrari before, and I'm excited to diagnose this one. I can't promise you Friday, but I will try my best.
Have you tried to fire it off?
Yeah, we did crank it. We sprayed some.
Let's try it.
Let's give it a shot.
Yep. Go get me a can of ether off of that backhoe over there so we can get this Ferrari started. Pininfarina.
All right. Watch your fingers.
Nothing, no fire, no spark.
Sounds like it's trying. We got some kind of backfire.
Really? I smell gas. I don't smell any, so you're gonna just jack with it.
Yeah. It hasn't really been that bad, just tedious, very tedious. Last plug right here, check these out. Brother,
Brother, what's that?
This is likely because it's been running rich. So overall, we had a no start condition on this Ferrari. It came in, it wouldn't crank, it wouldn't even rotate, nothing. So myself and Greg jumped all over it, and we actually got lucky. On this one, we have a complete schematic of the entire electrical system. So I chased it around. Obviously we needed a battery at first. Then we actually got it to spin over and it still didn't get any fire. So we found out that we weren't having any kind of continuity in the ignition coils. Got it figured out, got everything plugged away. There were a few items that were unplugged. The cold start firing injector. Somebody had replaced these ignition coils at one point, so we had to fix the wiring on that as well. So we got new plugs in there. Didn't order any new ignition wires. It looks like these have already been replaced at some point. So let's fire it up. Ignition, clutch. Well, still running a little rich. We're gonna get this figured out though. Vámonos.
A few moments later.
I'm trying to get this thing to start, but it keeps honking at me. Brace yourself. You ready?
All right.
Aw, shit. Yeah, it's a little, not very healthy. Ah, son of a. Oh, whew. I know what's wrong with it.
What did you just do?
I just put 10,000 volts of electricity through my fingertips.
What?
Yeah, I touched the ignition coil wire. Pretty sure it needs new wires. That one's healthy. That one is not.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. See how it's all burned and that contact point is loose?
So man, this thing's, look at the oil on the ground.
Yeah.
The turbo's puking. What's the turbo puking?
Well, it's not burning fuel properly.
So it's not oil, it's fuel?
No, that's unburnt fuel.
Oily fuel?
Yeah, and the reason I know that, I'm pretty sure we just need to replace the wires. I actually...
Like the distributor wires?
Yeah.
Plug wires?
Yeah, we've already replaced the spark plugs in it, and I cleaned off all of the contact points for the rotor, the cap, and they've got these little spark plug extenders that go in there. But I'm pretty sure there's some breaks in between, you know, cracks and whatnot.
Yep.
And the only reason I know that is because I shocked the shit out of myself a few minutes ago.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it wasn't fun.
So those $1,000 coils, you don't have to get them now?
No.
Because
no.
now you know they have fire?
Yeah, every inch of my body knows
for
that.
$1,000, we electrocuted you?
Yeah.
I'd take that swap.
So the VIN sticker says it's an 80, and I don't think it's an 80. I'm pretty sure it's an 81 because the 81 was the first year that they came out with fuel injection.
Is this is an injected car?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Obviously, there's no car.
Yeah, definitely fuel injected. I checked. We drained the fuel already. We got, like I said, new spark plug wires. There was actually a lot of wires that weren't plugged in. The coils were miswired. So I got all of that figured out and cleaned up and tightened everything. Most of the inlets for the turbo. And I didn't even know this thing was turbo. They didn't come turbo at all in this year model. The first year model that Ferrari actually put turbos on was 85.
This is an 81?
This is an 81. Yeah.
308 GTSi.
Yes. The first year that Ferrari came out with turbos on their 308s was 85, but they had a twin turbo setup, not the single turbo. Everything that I've read, it's the exact same engine. There's no different pistons, no difference in compression, anything like that. They only pushed about 7 PSI. So I know this is not a factory turbo at all, and I've only seen one turbo on it. So my hopes were that somebody just did a swap from an 85 to the 81. But
We've got a Vato Italiano. Huh. You sure you don't have a little Italian in you somewhere?
I might. I think my dad poked around with a few Italian chicks back in the day, so there might be something going on there.
All right. So we've got a aftermarket turbo on a Ferrari that's going to do nothing but give us problems.
Yes.
Here's the question. Does that make it worth more money? No. Is that going to cost more money? Yes. Should we get rid of it? Yes. So next question, how is the turbo controlled? Is it mechanically or electronically?
I haven't seen any kind of...
Because if we yank it, that could open a whole other set of problems if we don't know how to uncontrol it.
I don't think so. Everything that I saw, it was all mechanically controlled. There's no boost controller or it's recirculating wastegate, so it's not. It shouldn't take that
Oh,
much
it's self-control, like
Yeah.
off of the flow of the exhaust.
Right, right. And if there's another one,
Well, I don't want to
getting-
drive it with fuel flying out the back of it and then
No.
it catch fire and ruin it. And
Yeah, I mean, you could
That's
blow
really not
rings.
what I wanna
There's all
do,
sorts.
blow the rings?
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that can go wrong.
okay.
I would much rather for
You
now.
want to do something funny is get Redneck Greg to swap the turbo out on a Ferrari.
Yeah,
What's the odds of that screwing up?
probably 90-1. Let's go check on the good old boys in the Viking. Let's see how far along they got on that booth. Vamonos. So I'm about to sneak up on Greg and turn his day even worse. They're almost done with this paint booth, but he doesn't know that he has to fix his Ferrari next. Come on. Gregory. You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I'm about to make you worse.
Okay.
So the Ferrari, it keeps giving us flack, and I'm pretty sure that the issue is the aftermarket turbo. So you're next in line. When you're done with this booth, I need you to pull that turbo off the Ferrari.
Okay.
You got this, man. Chin up. Good job, Greg.
Damn.